Raphael Warnock has claimed the Georgia runoff for the Democrats over the Trump-backed candidate Herschel Walker in a victory for the Democrats. It gives them a buffer on its slim majority in the Senate. For the Republicans, it poses more questions for the Trump presidential campaign and highlights his candidate's poor performances in the US midterms. Joining me now is live from the US Studies Centre is Brendon O'Connor. Brendon, thanks so much for your time. Everyone was watching the Georgia runoff. It didn't matter in the end to a majority in the Senate or anything like that, but it does really set things up for the presidential election, doesn't it?
Well, there was a lot of implications on the line. Walker was someone that Trump had supported for a long time, back to his football career, had a close personal friendship relationship. A lot of positive things about telling him to run for the Georgia Senate race. And Warnock emerges from this race looking like a potential presidential candidate into the future. I mean, if you can win such a swing state as Georgia twice, you can win it again in a runoff, you're a national figure. So he's really put his name up in lights. And as you say, the Democrats have a slim majority in the Senate, and that will count for getting ambassadors appointed, getting people on the federal courts. It's probably unlikely we're going to get Clarence Thomas replaced or a Supreme Court justice, but it would give them the advantage there of being able to get through a judge if they needed to.
Yeah, also, it's even further embarrassment when there were claims about this big red wave that was coming. It absolutely didn't, you can barely call it a trickle at this point, looking at what's happened. In fact, if you look historically, Joe Biden has done better than any incumbent president in the last couple of decades. For Donald Trump, I mean, he's going to spin this. Can you imagine how he's going to try and spin this, though?
Well, Trump at a certain level is immune to facts. So the fact that he's lost, his candidate has lost, the Republicans were talking up having a Senate majority. The people he was most associated with in the Senate campaigns and the governor's campaigns, say in Arizona, they've lost. Many of us would think, well, that's a really kind of negative feedback. But Trump isn't, I think, in that world of taking these results as a personal kind of criticism. He'll be saying, well, the electoral system, as we've heard before, isn't fair. It's not sort of credible. It's fraudulent. So if you're immune to facts, the problem is that you don't receive much feedback from voting or losses. And this, I think, is the way Trump will spin it. And as we've seen, he's already saying he's running for the presidency in 2024.
Yeah.
So the negative, feedback from a couple of election cycles, losing the presidency, not doing particularly well, his choices doing very poorly, in fact, in this midterm elections.
Yeah.
That isn't a problem.